I've been having a bad hair day today. It's been fighting me all day. But guys, welcome in. I wanted to do something maybe a little different here. Normally, I always predict all the ranked games, but I was looking through all of the matchups and it dawned on me, there's so many good games that aren't ranked. So this is kind of just a part two. Obviously I release my picks and predictions video for college football every Monday for the next week. This is just kind of some more other games. These are not ranked matchups. These are maybe a little lower tier games that have the potential to be really good. And we start with a Thursday night game. How about two elite defenses? It's Troy traveling to South Alabama. Guys, I've been in on this South Alabama team from the beginning. Yes, they do have the USA abbreviation. It is amazing. I always love seeing that on ESPN. But right now, they're 3-point home favorites. If you don't know Troy, amazing defense. South Alabama, also very good defense. The over-under for this game is only 46. But guys, I think South Alabama at home has a little bit better offense. They win this game 31-21. I've been in on South Alabama. I love this team from the beginning. We move on to a juicy Friday night matchup. It's UAB. We remember UAB was a team that there was people saying maybe they go undefeated. They lost 2 games. They've rebounded. They're still very, they've got a lot of talent, especially for their conference. They're taking on Western Kentucky, who's been so phenomenal against the spread throughout this entire season. We've got Western Kentucky open to -3. It's been bet down to -2.5. They're given a 65% chance to win by ESPN's FPI, and I like the over in this game, guys. I said it was one of my best bets. The over 57.5. Both of these offenses very good. Western Kentucky, they love throwing. They love scoring points. Give me a lot of points on a Friday night at 8 o'clock. The vibes are amazing. We love Western Kentucky to win this game and the over hitting. Moving on to some Saturday games, a Big 12 matchup. It's Kansas traveling to Baylor. This is an ESPN2 matchup. And we've got Baylor right now, -7. They opened -9. That's been bet down. They have an 80% chance to win according to ESPN FPI. And guys, I just think it's a situation where Baylor is more talented than Kansas. Their offense was amazing against West Virginia. That loss was on the defense. It was fluky, turnovers, fumbles, things like that. I really like this Baylor team. Trust Baylor football in this game. Kansas, I feel like every one of Kansas's games, they're going to score 100 points, but they're going to allow 200 points. And they did something last week that I view as it's unforgivable. You cannot allow 700 yards of total offense. That tells me your defense is next level bad. I think Baylor, their offense, their quarterback, they've been clicking. They're going to drop a 40 burger, although it's not that much, in the Big 12. But still, they're going to score 41 points. They're going to cover the spread. They're going to win this game at home against Kansas. I think Kansas, unfortunately, is going to start losing a lot. Still, it's a major improvement for them from where they were just last year. Next, we've got a behemoth battle in the MAC. 2 3-0 teams. Toledo, the team I've been riding from the beginning. I love Toledo. At Buffalo, again, both of these teams 3-0. Some weird price action on this game. Toledo is still -7. But guys, the over-under got bet down. Very shocking to me. When I saw the over-under at 61, I was like, I'll take the over. It's easy. It gets bet down to 58. I like the over in this game, and I like Toledo to win on the road. Buffalo's a good team. But guys, Toledo's going to be very motivated. They do have an outside shot at a New Year's Six Bowl if they finish 10-2. Because remember, if they finish 10-2 and then they win the MAC, one of their losses was at Ohio State. I'm not saying they're going to be a representative, but it would be great for the MAC if Toledo goes 10-2. They get ranked maybe at 21 or 22 in the AP poll. Or I guess at that point it would be later in the season, so it would be the College Football Playoff Committee ranking them. But this Toledo team, and they're always, every week we need to check in on what Toledo's doing. I just think Toledo has more high-end talent to possibly finish undefeated in conference play and get into a really good bowl game at the minimum. So they're -7. The only bet I would make in this game is the over. These MAC games with good offenses tend to always go over. So I like Toledo winning that. Here's a shootout. And guys, I said yesterday, it's time we start taking advantage of these obvious Big 12 shootouts. We're going back to 2015 with these games. These teams just not playing defense. We've got West Virginia coming off their shootout win against Baylor, taking on Texas Tech, who always plays close, high-scoring home games. Guys, I think there's great value on West Virginia +7. Again, it always seems like whether Texas Tech wins or loses, the games are close. I think there's good value. JT Daniels playing better. Of course, we got to make it a good old-fashioned 45-42 final score. The over 68.5 hitting in that one. The next game, 3:30, huge game for Purdue football. This game changes the trajectory of Purdue football one way or the other. I understand why Wisconsin is 2-point favorites, but guys, let's add some context to this Wisconsin team. They crushed a horrible Northwestern team, and then they lost to a completely lifeless Michigan State team who has one of the worst defenses in college football. This is a winnable game for Purdue. They have 2 losses. If they want a chance to win the West, you've got to beat Wisconsin on the road. Winnable. You're 2-point underdogs. I understand why. I respect Wisconsin, especially at home. Great environment, 3:30 game, Jim Leonard, good defense. What can Aiden O'Connell do? It's going to be a gritty game. You're going to punt a lot, but I do like Purdue to this is a game you got to get out. You got to win if you're Purdue. It's tough. There's going to be turnovers. Get over it. Win this game. It's going to be close, low scoring. Purdue football needs this victory. It would be so great for the Big Ten if Purdue, finished with just 2 losses in the regular season. I don't know how. I think that could happen because Purdue already faced Penn State. They don't face Ohio State. They don't face Michigan. It could possibly happen if they're able to run the table. And if they do finish with just 2 losses going into the Big Ten championship, that is absolutely great because that would mean they're probably a top 15 or 16 team facing off against Ohio State, possibly in the Big Ten championship. And Ohio State can get another quality win and possibly run up the score on Purdue. I would love to see Aiden O'Connell in Indianapolis. It would be great for college football. Could you imagine if they still had Milton Wright? A lot of people don't remember Milton Wright. It's so sad. It is so sad. Guys, North Texas is one of the more underrated. I think North Texas is the most underappreciated team in college football. This matchup is going to be fun. Just looking at these 2 teams, UTSA, North Texas, I know the over is going to hit in this game. North Texas always scores a ton of points. They always allow a ton of points. UTSA having a very fine season. Of course, they're coming off that game against Florida International where they kind of sleepwalked. They didn't cover the big 33-point spread, but they won anyways. And guys, we got a nice old-fashioned 45-35 type game. Is North Texas going to cover the 10-point spread? Who knows? But I do know the over is going to hit. It always does in the North Texas games. We love North Texas. How about San Jose State University, guys? Guys, it's so sad. I was praying that San Jose State would run the table and finish, win every game. And last week they had a horrible hiccup. They lose to Fresno State, and Fresno State's backup quarterback. Vegas made a ton of money off that game. San Jose State was 6-point favorites. The line immediately jumped to 8.5. Everyone was in on San Jose State, and they lose that game outright to a Fresno State team who's been terrible. And then, of course, we have to shout out New Mexico State, who for the last 2 or 3 years had been considered possibly one of, if not the worst teams in FBS. They've improved since then. I think at this point where we're at in the season at week 8, in the middle, it's pretty clear that we would all consider Florida International to be the worst team in FBS. If somebody wants to argue a team, I would be open to it, but I think that's got to be the consensus. That certainly would be my pick, FIU. So New Mexico State, they've gotten better. They're still really bad, though. San Jose State listed -21. And guys, San Jose State has a no-fly zone defense. They've got one of the most elite defenses in college football. They might shut out New Mexico State. Either way, I've got them winning 36-7. Kind of a weird 6 o'clock start time What is that, 4 o'clock in New Mexico? Is New Mexico Mountain Time? Oh, that they might be. I think they are. New Mexico might be Mountain Time with where it's a 2-hour time difference, not 3. Because there's Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific. Those are the, and then there's Hawaiian, which is 4 hours behind me. But those are the kind of the time zones. How about this game, guys? How good has Air Force been recently? This line is crazy to me. I don't know how Air Force is only a 3.5-point favorites. They just decapitated UNLV. They scored 42 points in 3 quarters. They've got a crazy rushing offense. And guys, there were murmurs before the season started. Maybe Air Force is like a top 25 team. Obviously, they lost 2 games. That died down. But still, this team is capable, and Boise State to me has gotten very lucky to be 5-2. They're due for a massive loss. I think Air Force easily covers this spread, and they crush Boise State at home in a 7 o'clock primetime game with Kirk Herbstreit on the call. ABC will be there at the campus of Air Force. Unbelievable atmosphere there. That's going to be great. Next, oh my goodness, guys. UCF, the most underrated team in college football. They should be a top 20 team. They're a top 20 team according to every metrics. They just dropped a 70 burger on Temple. Oh my God, they're so good. UCF 5-point favorites. Guys, East Carolina can't defend anyone. But East Carolina does have a good offense. This is going to be, I'll take the over, and of course I'll take UCF to cover this spread 47-28. In all seriousness, I do think UCF is going to be the New Year's 6 representative from the group of 5, and I think they're going to beat whoever they face in the New Year's 6 Bowl. They are an absolute juggernaut. It's so disrespectful to see a team like North Carolina. Guys, if North Carolina and UCF faced off on a neutral field, it would be like 52-31. UCF would win. North Carolina has a horrible defense. You can't be ranking North Carolina before you rank UCF. That's my opinion. That's going to be a great game against a team that, East Carolina, they can score, but they can also give up a bunch of points. How about this, Matt? Guys, this is so weird to me. And maybe somebody can tell me why this is, but this one shocked me. So the over-under in this game was, I believe, 56.5, and I was like, that's amazing value. Bet the over. These teams are very evenly matched. This game opened as a pick'em. Pittsburgh's rushing game is crazy. Louisville is going to play several high-scoring games. They've got a really good dual-threat quarterback, Malik Cunningham, and the over-under has gone down to 54. So me and the general public are at a massive disagreement on this game. We'll see who's right. But, I like this game to be higher scoring. I think it's got shootout written all over it. Pittsburgh, their rushing game, they can also throw the ball. Louisville, again, they're a team right now. They need this win badly. They're 3-3. This is absolutely critical for them. This is a parity game. In my opinion, Louisville will win it 37-34. And then the final game I'm going to be predicting here, A&M traveling to South Carolina. A&M, Jimbo Fisher, he needs a win. His back's up against the wall. They just had a bye week. They're 3-3. They're unranked. South Carolina gaining momentum, right? They just beat Kentucky. It was with Kentucky's backup quarterback, but South Carolina did receive a few votes for the AP poll. They are also unranked. A&M is -3.5. And guys, it's impossible to predict anything but a low-scoring, close game between Texas A&M and insert SEC team outside of Alabama and Georgia and Tennessee. Every game A&M is going to play against any mid-level SEC team is going to be low scoring. It's going to be close. And I think Jimbo and A&M, they use the bye week. They have a chance. I think South Carolina was also on a bye week too, but A&M is desperate. They need this win badly. I would definitely not bet them -3.5. That is not a good number to get them at. But I do think they win. I believe this is a 7:30 game on the SEC network, but South Carolina is at home. Maybe this is their big breakthrough game. I'm open to it. I don't care if A&M loses, but I am projecting A&M to win this game, lower scoring, 24-19. So guys, that's just my part 2 predictions video. There's a lot of great matchups this week, so maybe I'll do this every week where I'll do the ranked matchups and then the other matchups, because there's so many games that happen every week, and obviously it's a limited time frame. We only get 13 weeks of this or whatever it is, so you want to try and talk about things and use all these games and really predict stuff. It's not like this is year round. Guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.